Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel, English Learning Easy. We're so happy you're here with us today. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ethan. We're so happy you've joined us today. Whether you're listening in a busy city or a quiet room, take a second to breathe. Today is about more than just grammar.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. It's a classic European sentiment, and it carries weight. When you meet someone for the first time, your brain is processing 1,000 data points.
And if you're speaking a second language, your brain is also panicking about verb tenses. That's why those first 5 minutes can feel like climbing a mountain. You're worried about your accent, your vocabulary, and your flow.
But here's the secret we've learned from years of teaching and traveling. First conversations are not magic, they're patterns.
Think of it like the architecture of this room. There's a foundation, a frame, and then the decor. Today, we are giving you the blueprint. We aren't just giving you scripts, we're giving you the why behind the what.
We've selected 4 pillars of daily life: the high-stakes interview, the casual grocery run, the academic connection, and the emotional first date.
In each section, we'll role play. Then we'll freeze the frame. The floating glass screens behind us will light up with the vocabulary you need to master.
We'll also talk about cultural nuance, the tiny habits like how we use softeners or fillers that make you sound like a human, not a textbook.
So adjust your headphones. Let's build your confidence. Let's step into our first scenario, the job interview.
Imagine the scene. You're in a high-rise office. The walls are Venetian plaster, much like our studio. Your hands are cold. You're thinking, what if I forget the word for experience?
Stop right there. An interview isn't a grammar test. It's a value conversation. The recruiter wants to know, can I work with this person?
Good morning, Ethan. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for making the time to come in. Please make yourself comfortable.
Good morning, Emma. Thank you for the invitation. I've been looking forward to this conversation. Your office has a very inspiring atmosphere.
I'm glad you like it. Let's dive in. You have an impressive resume, but I'd love to hear it in your own words. Could you tell me about your professional journey and what specifically drew you to this firm?
Certainly. Over the last 5 years, I've been honing my skills in digital project management. I started in small-scale logistics, but I've always been drawn to how design and technology intersect. What attracted me to your firm is your reputation for timeless innovation. I followed your recent Milan expansion project, and I was fascinated by how your team maintained brand heritage while scaling globally. I believe my experience in cross-functional communication could really leverage your current goals.
That's a very insightful observation. Tell me, we often face tight deadlines here. Can you describe a time you handled a significant challenge under pressure?
Of course. Last year, our team faced a sudden 30% budget cut mid-project. It was a sink-or-swim moment. Instead of panic, I reorganized our workflow into high-impact sprints. By prioritizing the most essential features, we actually finished 2 weeks early. That taught me that constraints are often the best fuel for creativity.
Let's pause. Ethan, that was a masterclass in the professional pivot.
Did you notice the phrase, honing my skills? Most learners say, I learned or I practiced, but honing implies a continuous, craftsman-like improvement. It sounds expensive. It sounds high-end.
And notice the Milan expansion mention. He did his research. In English-speaking business culture, specificity equals credibility. If you mention a specific project the company did, you aren't just a candidate, you're a partner.
Also, look at the challenge question. I didn't just say it was hard, but I worked fast. I used the term high impact. This is a power word. It tells the recruiter you understand business value.
When you're nervous, your sentences get short. Practice lengthening them with bridge words like furthermore, specifically, or that's an excellent question. It gives your brain time to think. Now, let's travel from the high-stakes office to the opposite end of the social spectrum, the grocery store.
This is a place where I see so many students struggle. It's not because their vocabulary is poor, it's because they are too formal. If you go into a local market and use job interview English, you won't sound professional, you'll sound like a robot.
Exactly. In a job interview, you want to be precise. In a grocery store, you want to be fluid. We call this low-stakes connection. It's the art of the 30-second friendship. You aren't trying to become their best friend, you're just trying to navigate a shared human moment with warmth.
Think of the grocery store as the social gymnasium for your English. It's low pressure because you'll likely never see these people again. It's the perfect place to fail, to laugh at yourself, and to try out new phrases.
Excuse me, sorry to bother you. I've wandered through aisle 4 twice now, and I'm starting to think I'm losing my mind. Do you happen to know where they moved the organic condiments?
Oh, don't worry, you're not crazy. They actually did a complete reset of the store last night. It's a mess. They moved all the organic stuff to aisle 12, right behind the specialty oils.
Aisle 12? You're a lifesaver. I was about to give up and just eat plain pasta tonight. I think I've spent more time looking for mustard than I will actually spend cooking.
I've been there. It's like a maze in here today. Oh, and just a heads up, if you're going that way, the truffle-infused oils are on sale. They're 40% off, but they're hidden on the bottom shelf.
Oh, wow, 40%? That is very dangerous information for my bank account, but thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. Enjoy your dinner.
Thanks. Have a wonderful afternoon. Let's freeze the frame right there. That felt light, didn't it? It felt airy.
The first thing I want you to notice is how I started. I didn't just say, "Where is the mustard?" That is a command, not a conversation. I used what we call the softener.
The softener toolkit. Excuse me, sorry to bother you. I was wondering if, do you happen to know? I'm so sorry, but...
In English-speaking cultures, especially in the UK and the US, we have a politeness reflex. We often apologize for taking up someone's space or time. It's not that we are actually sorry. It's a way of saying, I recognize that you are a human being, not a search engine.
And look at the humor I used. I said, I'm starting to think I'm losing my mind. This is self-deprecating humor. By making a small joke about my own confusion, I made Emma feel comfortable. I signaled that I am friendly and approachable. Now, look at my response. I said, you're not crazy. This is an example of validation. In casual English, we love to validate the other person's feelings. It creates an instant bond.
Let's talk about that idiom, "You're a lifesaver."
This is one of the most common high-frequency idioms in the English language. Of course, Ethan isn't literally dying, and I didn't literally save his life, but in English we use hyperbole, exaggeration, to show gratitude.
If someone holds a door for you or helps you find the organic mustard, saying "you're a lifesaver" adds a level of warmth that a simple thank you just can't reach. It makes the other person feel good.
Notice that I gave Ethan a heads up about the sale.
Heads up is a great phrasal noun. It means a warning or a piece of useful information.
In many cultures, you go to the store, you buy your items, and you leave. But in English-speaking societies, there's a culture of sharing tips. Giving a stranger a tip about a sale is a very common way to be socially helpful without being intrusive.
And notice how I close the conversation. I didn't just walk away. I said, "That's dangerous information for my bank account. This is another small joke." It acknowledges her tip and closes the interaction with a smile.
If you say, thank you for your assistance to a stranger in a grocery store, they might think you're a secret shopper or a corporate manager. It's too stiff.
Exactly. Use "have a good one." It's the universal closing for any casual interaction in the US. It's short, it's friendly, and it works every time.
Many of our students ask us, Emma, Ethan, why should I care about talking to a stranger at a grocery store? Ethan, because fluency isn't just about big words. Fluency is about comfort. If you can handle a small, spontaneous interaction with a stranger about truffle oil, your brain starts to believe that you belong in the English-speaking world.
It reduces your affective filter, that wall of anxiety that goes up when you speak. The grocery store is where you tear that wall down brick by brick.
Next time you go shopping, find one thing you can't see, even if you know where it is. Ask someone, "Excuse me, sorry to bother you. Do you happen to know where the honey is?" Emma, watch their reaction. They will likely smile and help you. That positive feedback loop is more powerful than any textbook lesson. It's real life.
It's about taking the language out of the classroom and into the aisles.
We're moving now to the world of higher education. A college campus is a unique ecosystem. It's a mix of high-level intellectual theory and very casual, almost slangy social interactions.
This is where I see students feel the most isolated. They sit in a room with 200 people, but they don't say a word because they're waiting for a formal reason to speak. But in university culture, the environment itself is your invitation.
You don't need a perfect opening line. You just need to look around. We call this situational observation. You comment on the shared reality you are both experiencing. "Oh, excuse me, is anyone sitting here? This lecture hall is absolutely packed today. I think half the campus decided to show up."
No, go ahead, it's all yours. It's wild, isn't it? I think word got out about the guest speaker. Usually this room is half empty by week 4. Are you in the literature program?
Sort of. I'm actually minoring in literature but majoring in architecture. I'm Emma, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Emma. I'm Ethan. Architecture. That explains the incredibly detailed sketches in your notebook. I was watching you draw earlier. I thought you were a professional illustrator for a second.
Guilty as charged. Drawing actually helps me process the lectures. If I just sit and listen, my mind starts to wander to what I'm having for lunch. Have you taken any classes with Professor Sterling before? I've heard his exams are legendary, and not in a good way.
I haven't, but the campus legend is that his midterms are brutal, but his lectures are life-changing. He's a tough grader, but you learn more in an hour with him than in a month with anyone else. Are you part of the student Discord? There's a study group forming to tackle his reading list.
I'm not yet, but that sounds like a total game changer. I'd love an invite. Did you notice how that conversation started? Emma didn't ask, "What is your name?" She asked about the seat and the crowd. This is low pressure. If I hadn't wanted to talk, I could have just said, "No, it's free," and the conversation would have ended without any awkwardness.
But because Ethan responded with a hook mentioning the guest speaker, the doors stayed open. Now look at the terminology on the screen. University Essentials. Major, your primary area of study. Minor, your secondary, smaller area of study. Syllabus, the document outlining the entire course. And midterms, the big exams in the middle of the semester.
Use these words. They are the currency of campus life. Also, notice how I mentioned her sketches. This is active observation. People love to be noticed for their skills. By mentioning her drawing, I moved the conversation from generic to personal.
And finally, the invite. Ethan mentioned a Discord group. In modern English-speaking universities, the digital community is where the real networking happens. Offering an invite to a group is the ultimate social win. It shows you are helpful and connected. We've arrived at the most intimidating scenario of all, the first date.
This is the ultimate test of emotional English. On a date, people don't care about your perfect grammar. They care about your vibe. They care about how you make them feel.
Most students get stuck in fact mode. Where are you from? What is your job? How many siblings do you have? That feels like a police interrogation, not a date. To connect, you have to move from facts to passions.
I'm really glad we chose this spot. The atmosphere is so calm and the lighting, it feels like we're in our own little world despite the city noise outside.
Me too. I've always been a fan of quiet corners and soft acoustics. It makes it so much easier to actually hear someone. So Ethan, let's skip the small talk. Tell me, what's a passion of yours that has absolutely nothing to do with your career? Wow, that is a fantastic question. I'd have to say I'm an amateur astronomer. There's something about looking through a telescope at 2 in the morning. It reminds me how small our daily stresses really are. It gives me perspective. What about you? What's your hidden world?
I love that. For me, it's restoring vintage Italian leather bags. There's a history in the material, the way it ages, the stories it carries. I love the idea of giving something old and forgotten a second life. It's almost like being a fashion historian.
That's beautiful. It's rare to find someone who appreciates the soul of an object like that. It sounds like you enjoy the process of transformation. How did you even get started with something so niche?
This conversation is successful because we are looking for resonance. Ethan didn't just say, "Cool, I like stars." He explained why. He said it gives him perspective.
And look at Emma's technique. She used the word niche. This is a great word for learners. It means something very specialized or specific. Using a word like that shows you have a nuanced vocabulary.
The most important thing here was the open-ended question. I didn't ask, "Do you like your job?" I asked about a passion. This forces the other person to tell a story.
And notice my follow-up. I said, it sounds like you enjoy the process of transformation. This is called reflective listening. I am summarizing what I think she feels. This creates a deep psychological bond. It tells the other person, I am not just waiting for my turn to speak, I am actually hearing you.
In English, we use words like beautiful, fascinating, and insightful to show we are engaged. Don't be afraid to use emotional adjectives. Today, we've walked through the interview, the grocery aisle, the lecture hall, and the dinner table.
The words change, but the heart of the conversation is always the same: human connection.
Your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. It just has to be authentic. Use the softeners from the store, the situational hooks from the campus, and the active listening from the date.
We've put together a Confidence Blueprint PDF in the description below, featuring every phrase we used today. Print it out, keep it in your bag, and use it as your shield.
You are more capable than you think. Every time you open your mouth to speak a second language, you are being incredibly brave.
Stay confident, stay curious, and keep practicing.
We'll see you in the next episode.